Exactly, there you go. Okay. Meanwhile, I've started.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, perfectly. Looks good. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
So,
Okay.
good night. Thank you, Lex, for the introduction. So, my name is Sandro Pereira. I'm a Microsoft Azure MVP and recently also a Visio MVP. Was a shocking good news in January. I have my own blog that changed this year for blog.sandropereira/Pereira. With a new design with the help of my friends on BizTalk 360. I work mainly in BizTalk Server at Devscope, a small company in Portugal, and I'm author of a BizTalk mapping pattern and best practices. I also have a note for the integration to 2017. I will be there. I'm speaking about BizTalk Server fast and loud, how to optimize BizTalk Server for performance. I recommend if you are a BizTalk guy or an integration guy to go to this event. It's the biggest event in the world about Microsoft integration stack. So it's a event not to be missed. And today's session is about, seems a very basic topic, and it is. It is not a fancy topic like logic apps, hybrid integration, and so on, but it is a situation that we face in real time every day. So still nowadays, a lot of files are test files, flat files that need to be converted to XML to be integrated. And the main reason that I decided to make this session is because I see a lot of people making mistakes, big mistakes, while working with flat files. So that's why I decided to create this session. And for that, to the basics and introduce BizTalk schemas, the very basic of this stuff, but I will be very fast. So BizTalk XML schemas is, everyone knows, if you are a BizTalk, you know that BizTalk use schemas to represent the structure of the files. Basically, nowadays 4 types of schemas: XML, flat files, ADI, that basically is a flat file, but BizTalk provide all of the schemas to support, or almost all the schemas to support Edifact, so you don't need to create them. And recently JSON. Okay, JSON is also support. Files, that is the goal of these sessions. BizTalk, of course, supports the limit flat files that is separated by a character, comma or double comma or other type of character to split the records, and positional, that is, fields are fixed by a length of characters, and of course a mix of both are also supported. And to create these schemas, we can create, of course, by scratch, by hand. In regarding to flat files is not the recommended, because it's a lot of work to be doing. But we also can use the file schema wizard, and that is the basic tool that we have to translate a flat file, a CSV or text file to an XML based on certain rules. But be aware, this is a graphic tool, this is a wizard. Everything can be done by hand and manually. Where this syntax transformation, this process of converting flat files to XML occurs. And you all know this. So basically, the files are being received by a port that pass for a location, receive adapter, and then of course the pipeline, receive pipeline. Here is where the file is being translated from flat file to an XML, and of course it can be passed by a mapping or not. It's optional. It goes to the message box, being subscribed by orchestrations, and subscribe for a send port that can again pass for a map or not. This is also optional, and go to a send port that has a send pipeline, and here is where it passes again from XML to a flat file, and then be sent to a send adapter to be communicated to the system. Used to normalize the data from several formats to XML. It can be a flat file, can be a zip, whatever. Here is where the files are normalized to an XML. The pipeline, receive pipeline, it has 4 stages, but is on the disassemble stages that we can add the flat file component that can be the flat file disassemble to translate the flat file to an XML. Pipeline, it only has 3 stages, and in the assembly stages is where again we convert the XML to a native format, in this case a flat file. Okay. So, slides, enough of the basics. Let's do some real cases, and by this sample. Now, okay. Let me open in the notepad, it's better. Notepad. So I have this CSV file. It's delimited flat file. It's delimited by a comma. And we have a structure here that is a repeating node that is delimited by .com. I don't know the name in English. Sorry. But and this is a very basic file. The problem is that these are the second and the third line are data. It's real data, and the first line is a simple an header that needs to be removed from the message because this is only the title of the each column. And when I look to see what is the correct solution to do this, I normally see people saying that we need to create a pipeline component to remove the first line of the file, and then use the flat file wizard to parse this information and translate to an XML. And that's not the correct solution. That's the hard solution for me, because using the scheme, the wizard, you are able also to do that, and you have 2 solutions. Okay, So let's open the Visual Studio. Okay. BizTalk project. An empty BizTalk project. Let's call. Let's say integration Monday. So the first solution here is try to not remove, but to isolate the data. So add new item, flat file wizard. Let's browse to our instance. And say this is a lot. Next and next. Delimiter by symbol, of course. So the first line, the first delimiter is enter to separate each line. And I say that this is record here, and the second line is a repeating record. And of course, for repeating record, I just need to ignore the others. Okay, let's say this is an header, and this is lot. And next. And now we are going to treat both records. So in case of the header, I could treat each one and say this is limited by a comma. I think it's a comma, and I will not take time of fixing these names because for me this is noise. I just want to isolate. I say next, and then the real part that I want to treat is the data itself. So in the lot next, the delimiter is this one. It's okay. It's the same, and then I put. I could say this is PB number, and chip ID, and I will leave the rest without changing the name. But in this case, you see that I have a structure also. So here I will put a record and say that this is the observation slot. Observations to treat it later. Okay, next. And I'm now dealing with the observations and say next, and I can say that okay, if I know that for sure I have only 3, I just split it by .comma. I don't know the name. Otherwise, I need to create other rule. So if I leave these, I'm saying that I will always have 3 elements there. If I'm not sure that this is the case, I need to say that this is a repeating record, and then ignore and ignore, and then I'm sure that I'm creating a observation, a record inside the observation. Okay, so next, next, and say next again. It's okay, I only have this one. I leave it and say this is my observation. And finish. Okay, if I now test it, validate instance, let's validate. Item does not support preview. That's funny. Why the hell? Why did I had the idea to choose BizTalk 2016? Why? Well, I had everything working in 2013. Item. That's new for me. Okay. I'm going to switch machines. Sorry about that. I didn't have too much time to test it because I was sent to a critical situation today, and unfortunately I didn't validate my demos, so my fault. Sorry guys. One more minute and that's it. Oh.
Oops.
Okay, so let me close this. Let me close the other and copy my schema. Oh. Again, sorry about that. Let me add existing item. Beautiful thing is that everything works, the schema works the same in 2016 or 2013 Echo properties, and let's say that's it. Hope it works now. I don't know why the hell it didn't work. Okay, generate output. No, it's native. Okay, I don't know why it didn't work in 2016. Probably find a bug. That allow content. Yep. We had header isolated, and now we can have the lots separate. So I just isolate the problem that was the header with all of this noise in the data, and I isolate the data that now I can work only in the data. So that is the easy solution for or the normal solution that we can think about without the necessary to create additional code, a pipeline component, because you will add more process in the more work in the process. So we probably induce some latency, and this is faster. This is simple. The perfect solution, however, is different. So let's do the same. Add new. And by the way, I left the notepad. And open the CSV. I left left the all elements with the default name, but I can go there and always change the name. Okay, if I'm changing this name now after the process of that I create using the wizard, it doesn't matter. This is cosmetic operations, no? Just changing the names. The rules are there. So even if I change the names and test it now, everything will work the same. So I can fix all the mistakes that I did using the wizard. So as you see, I fixed the names and now they are being shown correctly. So the perfect solution, however, is different. If I again execute the file schema, flat file schema wizard, okay, select the same instance, lots plural. Again, if I select the whole data inside my my file, delimited by symbols again, because this file is delimited by symbols. The delimiter is still the enter, but now I will use an option that I normally wouldn't use, that is a tag identifier. And if I select the first line as my tag identifier, I automatically remove the header, the first line from my my file. And it's something that again, these options I will never use, but in this case it works like a charm. Okay, so now I just said that my first line is a repeating record. Of course, ignore the rest, and next. And again, I'm being treat the first line here. This will be the delimiter, and I have all the structure there, so I can say phab number and so on and so on and so on. No, again, go to the last one because I have a record here that is composed by several observations. So I will add a record in the last one and say next. I will treat that record because it has a different delimiter shelter. And I say this is again a repeating record. Ignore the rest. And next, next, and next. And that's it. Okay, finish. Of course, I can always change. And if I test now, my flat file schema, oh, let me save, sorry. If I test now, I only have the data. I only have the data and no header is there. How cool is that? Eh? So I don't really need any pipeline component to remove the header from the first line from a flat file because that contains the header. Okay, let's go a different, a more basic but sometimes challenge scenario. So let me check. Yeah, I have this one, and if you see, this is really straightforward file. Oh, it has a name, first name, last name, a year, a city, and address code. Okay, so very, very, very simple. So add new item, flat file schema. Let's call it people. Add next. Next, and I can I could select only one or several. It makes more work or less work depending on the person. So delimited by fields, that's an enter. That is on the line. Each line is separate by an enter. So let's and say that this is a repeating record and just ignore the rest. Of course, if I only select one, I didn't have to go to each line and ignore that because I have only 4. it's okay. But if you have plenty of them, just select the piece of data that contains one of the records. The rest is repeating, okay? Person. So let's work on the person record. It's divided by this field, and this is my first name, last name, year, birthday, and city, and postal code. Okay, next, and finish. So if we now test the file, very simple stuff, and there you go. I have 4 persons in that file. Okay, so very basic. However, in this case, I have an empty line here. So I add here an enter, and I have one line that is empty. What happens if I delete that line, save it, and then try it? Problem is, it will fail. It will fail because it's looking for an enter. So I could do the same. I could try to, maybe it was a failure there, and let's see what happens if I generate again the file. No, people 2, add it, next. Let's say this again, and let's select next. It's a record, repeating record, ignore, 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 next. Of course, in this case, I will not lose time changing the names, and say leave it, next, and finish. Okay. So if I try now, validate an instance, it will work. It makes sense, no? Everything works, but what happens now? And put an enter, no? Probably it will work or not, I don't know. It will fail again because it's expecting the separator, no? So I'm in a problem. How can I deal with these two both files in a simple solution? Because from some reason I know that my system is sending me both options, and I cannot control the origin of the file. It is been given, and I need to deal with this situation. Again, I see a lot of people creating a pipeline component to check if the last line is empty or not, and remove that, and always have a file without an extra line. Again, that will induce noise, performance problem, because it's one more component to do, and actually you don't need it again. So to solve this problem, I need to go to the people, to the properties, and let me check. Allow, where is the property? Where is the property? Let me check if that's correct solution. So, come on. That will work. And if I remove that, yep. So is that good? Let me explain. So I found the so if we go to the schema and go to the properties of the schema. Sorry, my kids arrive here.
Já terminaste?
Ué, já vou terminar. Sorry, my kid just entered the room, asked me for go to play. So if there is an option saying allow message to break up is at infinite root, in fixed root, okay? So if that says that the limiter. Oh, wait a moment, please. Oliver, calma, vai para lá para dentro. Sorry, kids. Next time I need to close the door. So that allows me to specify that message can break up early. And now I have a single schema that is able to consume a message without the last enter, or with the enter itself. So both situations are now available in this type of schema. Okay. So I save and test it again. Everything will work the same as it's supposed to be. And again, I really don't need any additional component to work on my message. And I think there is also another option here that is, let me check. And this is also true because you see that my person is infix. That's why the allow breakup at infix root, only in that root is able to break, to skip that last line. Okay. So what about optionals? So let's say that my age here is optional. Okay, let's save it. By default, if I try it, it has an empty everything it works, of course, but it has an empty record. No, sometimes that's not really what we want, because let's say that in this case, this is a string. But let's say that this is, and actually it is, an int. How can I take this? Sorry. An int. Okay. So if that is the case, probably it will fail because that string is not an integer. So how can I say that I can suppress this? So don't be able to be here, but it's an optional element, and I can say like that is a property also that says suppress empty nodes. Yes, okay. So if I test it, validate instance again. Oh, I need to say that, okay. Of course, to do that, I need to say this is minimum occur 0 and validate the instance. And then again, everything works the same. So I can also deal with optional elements without creating any crazy rule. So most of the stuff I can do it directly on the wizard, but sometimes to optimize my flat file schema, I need to go to the properties and I need to do it manually. So I probably say that 95% work I can do with the wizard, and the little customization, the little rules, I need to go manually and fix that rules, so that my components, my schema can pass the correct flat file message. Okay. So that was mainly the two cases that I would like to present today. Of course, I have plenty of more that I'm working on. Unfortunately, again, I didn't have time to do all the samples that I would love to present, because I had TUG-IT event last week. It was a 3 days event. I had all the week in Lisbon organizing the event and getting the speakers. And today I was forced to go to a client, and I had a limit time, but I was able to create these two scenarios. If you have any questions.
Yeah, Sandra, thank you so far. Yeah, I do have
please
some.
Let me know.
Yeah, certainly. I do have some questions here in the question pane. To start with, David, he mentioned that that separator sign, the dot with the comma, in English that's a semicolon.
Semicolon. That is, I always forget that. I have two problems with my English. One of them are big numbers, and the second are these signs, comma, dot comma, semicolon.
Colon. Yeah. Well, probably now you won't forget it anymore.
I probably will.
So, well, that was the first one, not really a question. Another remark David made is that well, you don't have to worry about walking kids in presentations, because it's quite classic And he mentions a YouTube movie, but I'm not sure if I can show that easily. No, yeah, I'm sorry, that's a bit tough.
I think I know the movie.
Sorry?
I think I know the movie.
No, yeah, well, it's a small video on YouTube. I didn't check it out myself. You know what? I'll just stop the recording, and I'm just going to put on that that YouTube movie. Wait a minute.